One moment you here, and the next you gone. I bet they had no clue that was the end of their zone. We about to get into it though, with DJ Hayden and the fatal car crash that killed 6. Let's get it. DJ Hayden, a former NFL cornerback, was among the people killed in the Houston car crash early this past Saturday morning. 5 of the victims were male and 1 was female, says Megan Howard, Assistant Chief of the Houston Police Department. Police didn't release the names of the victims at the briefing. The University of Houston Athletics said in a statement that Hayden, Ralph Aragwu, and Zach McMillian, 3 former University of Houston football players, were among the victims. Houston police received 911 calls around 2 a.m. local time, alerting them to a major car crash involving 2 vehicles that included a black Chrysler 300 and a black Acura SUV. One of the cars driving at a high speed ran a red light, and the driver of that vehicle died at the scene. In all, 4 people died at the crash scene. One of those killed was a homeless man. An additional 4 people were transported to local hospitals. Upon arriving at the hospital, 2 more people had died, said Howard, and 1 patient, a female, has life-threatening injuries. Investigators are questioning a male patient at the hospital. Hayden, 33, played for 4 NFL teams: the Oakland Raiders, Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Washington Commanders. He starred as a defensive back at Houston in 2011 and 2012 before joining the Oakland Raiders. All 5 victims in the at-fault driver who died in the crash in Houston that killed the former NFL player were identified by police on Monday. The crash occurred as Christian Herrera, 25, who was not pictured, was speeding in a Chrysler 300 and ran a red light, striking the Acura that Hayden and the others were in. The people who were killed in the Acura were Hayden, 33, Zachary McMillian, 32, Izuku Aragwu, 31, and Lauren Robinson, 32, who was driving the vehicle. Another man who was a pedestrian, Frank Johnson, 31, also died after Herrera's Chrysler went on the sidewalk after the crash and hit him. Herrera was the only person in the car. A 30-year-old woman and a 32-year-old man who were also in the Acura remained hospitalized for their injuries. The woman was listed in critical but stable condition, and the man was listed as stable.
It was deeper than just like football. Like we love Coach Hayden, man, and it's so sad that this had to happen, but we love him, man. We're praying for his family and his kids and everything, but Coach Hayden was a great man.
We know his walk with the Lord, and it was, you know, we tried to tell the kids that too, like everybody has an appointed time, and this was just Coach's time for whatever reason. It was, you know, God's decision, and we've got to be okay with that the best that we can.
He liked to talk about things that no one really wanted to talk about, like your mental health and how you were doing. Like, he cared.
The bumps and bruises that happened to me in my life, and it's made me the man who I am today.
The FBG Duck trial is in full effect, and all the Chiracian characters you all know and love have come out to play. Here goes a recap of everything that happened this week. Let's get into it. In their push to convict 6 men in the killing of rapper FBG Duck on the Gold Coast, federal prosecutors are relying on a cast of characters to make their case. 2 Chiracian gang members turned YouTubers have sparred with defense attorneys and evaded questions while providing potentially crucial testimony against the O-Block faction of the Black Disciples in the murder and racketeering trial. A former member of the gang set is also taking the stand. Prosecutors are now expected to press 3 of their own witnesses about their criminal backgrounds, a move defense attorneys opposed, saying it was inappropriate. You can't put up a witness simply to impeach them, said Sheriff Warman during the conference without the jury present on Monday. Meanwhile, a warrant was issued for a witness who was previously booted from the courtroom after it was revealed she was present for the proceedings. The warrant remained under seal on Monday, but electronic updates to the court's online system showed that a bench warrant had been issued for the woman who was the mother of one defendant's child. The trial has grown into a spectacle that is spilled out of the Dirksen Federal Courthouse and onto YouTube accounts and rap blogs that draw millions of viewers from across the globe. It centers on the lengthy gang war between O-Block and the Tuckerville faction of the Gangs of Disciples that was claimed by FBG Duck, whose real name is Carlton Weekly. On trial are 6 O-Block members and associates: Marcus Smart, 24, Christopher Thomas, 24, Kenneth Robertson, 30, Charles Liggins, 32, Carlos Saferd, 32, and Ralph Turpin, 34. The testimony of Martell Trenches News Wiley and Rakeem FBG Butter Wilton provided a revealing look into the world, since the bloggers have deep knowledge of the gang feud. but they proved mercurial on the stand, alternating between angry outbursts and comical asides that bordered on mocking the court.
Now look, we gonna talk about the sloppy six. Tell me something. You gotta tell me something, right? I'm trying to figure something out. Tell me something, gang. Gang, they did a lot of up shit. They did a lot of ups on the hit that you getting paid for. I don't know if they really got paid for it. You know what I'm saying? This is what the internet, I'm just reading the internet. So, it's like, gang, if it's money involved, and we like, my life is at stake too. Cause just like I'm finna go take a motherfucking life, I can go to jail and lose my life. Or I can die on this lick, or on this hit. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. And if it's done and we knock a motherfucker off that's as big as Duck, shorty on Tuka, they would've never saw me in the camera again.
FBG Butter testified that he had a child with Duck's sister and was close friends with the slain rapper. But Butter, most compelling testimony related to the killing of his own sister, Jakira Barnes, a female gang assassin who was shot and killed in a 2014 attack that also wounded Butter. Butter conceded in open court that King Von, a superstar rapper and alleged old block leader, had killed his sister by standing over her and shooting her repeatedly. Von, whose real name is Davon Bennett, later placed a bounty on Doug's head before he was killed. His testimony came after he made public statements claiming Von didn't kill his sister, something he said he did to avoid breaking the no-snitch code of the street. He changed his story after Von was killed in an unrelated shooting months after Doug was gunned down. He said, and I quote, "As long as Von was walking this earth, I never mentioned the man's name on no police-ish," end quote. Prosecutors are now getting ready to call a new batch of witnesses with troubled backgrounds they want to highlight. All three witnesses are longtime associates of Turpin, who allegedly alerted the other defendants that Doug was shopping in the Gold Coast on August 4th, 2020. While mainstream media outlets have largely ignored the federal murder and racketeering trial, the extraordinary events unfolding at the Dirksen Federal Courthouse have repeatedly spilled on the YouTube channels and rap blogs. In a motion filed on behalf of all the defense attorneys, lawyer Steve Greenberg said Aletta Mickey Truth Williams was also pulled out of court last week after she falsely claimed that FBG Butter had been paid to work with the feds.
It seems like a movie right now, like a movie. Let me tell y'all what just happened. So I get up, get dressed, go to the courthouse, okay, for the O-Block RICO case, okay. I'm at the courthouse. I'm in the courtroom. What it do, Lena? I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. Hold. Let me back up. For one, Seti Nash, the YouTuber Seti Nash was there, right? We go into the courtroom. A whole slew of agents came and stopped Seti Nash before he even hit the courtroom. They took him somewhere. I don't know what the happened to him, but I go into the courtroom, right? I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, a man come up to me and was like, "Can you come with me for a minute?" And I'm like, "Oh." So, you know, I get my stuff. We walking out the door. He's like, "Do you got a phone or anything in the locker?" And I was like, "Yeah." Then he's like, "Go ahead and get your stuff out." I'm like, so all of a sudden he's like, I'm such and such. I'm gonna explain to you what's going on. Like once we move away from the courtroom, I'm like, so my heart is racing. Cause I'm like, what to do, Paradox? I'm like, what is going on? So we get on the elevator now. I'm thinking he about to hit lobby and like I got to leave for some reason. No. He take me to a whole another floor. So I'm like, so he's like, "Yeah, you got history with the witness?" And I'm like, "Who?" I'm like, "Who is witness?" So look, they say me and Butter got history. I'm like, I said, I ain't never talked to him before, like ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just reported. And he's like, "Yeah, I know you're a blogger. You're Mickey Truth." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know, I blog or whatever." And then he was like, "Well, we have concern for your safety."
She posted a video about Butter's testimony on December 6th and incorrectly stated that he or his mother had received $2,700 in exchange for his testimony. That same day, Butter was still technically on the stand while the trial was in recess. He appeared on another YouTube channel and ranted about the mistake.
And you said you denied getting paid. So did they offer you any money or they never offered you
Hell
money?
nah, nigga, boy. Nigga, I was going to jail. What you talking about? I play with guns. You ain't hear what they said? You ain't. He been implicated 52 times in a RICO trial. What you talking about? Nigga ain't not one time they say I wore a wire, I was working, give volunteer information back to none of that, nigga.
Williams, who traveled from out of state to report on the trial, posted a correction on Thursday after being contacted by FBG Butter's mother. Upset about her false claim, Wilton expressed great displeasure to his handlers and at one point sought to run out of the room where he was being held. When Butter returned to the courtroom to testify, government agents told Williams that she wouldn't be able to remain in the courtroom while he was on the stand. Although she was offered the opportunity to watch from the overflow courtroom, she decided to leave Chicago when the agents told her that the defendants were dangerous people and she is now at risk. Prosecutors allege that Williams had posted pictures and inaccurate personal information about Butter's mother, a claim that was rejected in a mistrial motion. It alleges that Williams' exclusion from the courtroom violated her right to free speech and the defendant's right to a public trial. Tiffany Huff, a Furd's ex-girlfriend and mother of his child, one of the O Block 6, discussed his ties to O Block and recalled taking him to purchase a Ford Fusion that was later used in the shooting. Duck's mother, Lashina Weekly, was also removed from the courtroom for a second time after causing a disturbance. She was previously cited for having a quarter ounce of weed at the courthouse and was also involved in a verbal altercation that nearly led to a fight.
3.
Charleston White, the man, the myth, the activist, the comedian, but most importantly, the father. Are his antics starting to catch up to him? I'll let you decide. Let's get into it. Charleston White managed to go from a teenage gang leader to an aspiring online activist, reinventing himself after serving jail time for his juvenile transgressions. When Charleston White walked away from his life of crime, he amassed a sizable social media following for his YouTube commentary on trending news. But the podcaster is also making headlines for his controversial remarks. Known for sharing stories of his criminal past on social media, Charleston White's online presence has earned a mixed reception from web users. Some of his biggest controversies were due to his comments regarding to George Floyd.
Let me go back to this George Floyd shit, right? His family was awarded $27 million.
And they got $20 million up front through the GoFundMe. Yeah, if I can die right now today for $27 million, let me die tomorrow. Just let me have my last day knowing I'm gonna die. But yeah, nigga, $27 million, that's worth dying for.
DMX.
DMX. Now, what's his real name?
Earl.
I ain't say Earl. See, y'all love these characters. Them children are not crying over DMX, people. They're crying over Earl. Y'all don't know Earl. It's young men and it's young women whose mothers were addicted to drugs, and their mothers struggled with their drug addiction and got off drugs. And because their mother was once drugs, their children don't respect them the way they should. But you go get this DMX, all this here, right? You go get DMX, all this, but nobody reached out to Earl.
Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, I'm not in the Nipsey Hussle. I'm in the Aramis. So I went to the funeral. Everybody who was in the arena stands was there for Nipsey. I sat behind the family. They was there for Aramis. So while these people faking like they love Nipsey, the family is down there grieving and mourning Aramis. I said, man, Nip.
And Vaughn.
You scared now, don't look.
1,
give you 10 seconds.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. King Vaughn all over again.
Okay, I'm glad you feel that way, okay.
He also made headlines for his feud with Soulja Boy, which saw the two trading jabs over Instagram. Despite his criminal history and prison stint, Charleston has managed to turn his life around by becoming a motivational speaker and is now a pillar in his community and is active in his church. He is the founder and CEO of Helping Young People Excel, HYPE, an organization dedicated to educating teens and helping them steer away from turning to crime. The group has even worked directly with members of one of Texas' largest Hispanic gangs in the town of Fort Worth, Texas, Tongo Blast. He said, and I quote, My story gives hope to those who lost it. It shows victims and their families that even the worst individuals can change their lives and make a difference in society," end quote. He also thanked the Texas prison system for saving his life and enrolled in the Texas Wesleyan University's criminal justice program to obtain his bachelor's degree. Now a father, he travels the country sharing his knowledge, qualitative experience, and story of redemption in hopes of making a positive impact. At age 14, White and 3 other friends had shoplifted athletic jackets from a Foot Locker store, and the man who confronted them was executed in the parking lot. White told the Texas Tribune, and I quote, "I was all for the intents and purposes. I didn't pull the trigger, but I was responsible for that man's demise," end quote. He was one of the first juveniles in Tarrant County to be sentenced for M1 under the Texas Determining Sentence Law. White was sent to the Texas Youth Council lockup and was due to be moved to an adult facility ahead of his 18th birthday, before juvenile correctional officers put their jobs on the line to plead his case to the judge. White said, and I quote, "I've always heard juvenile justice advocates and officials say, if I can just reach one kid, then I've done my job. Well, I was that one kid. Job well done," end quote. In 1998, he was released after serving 7 years of his sentence and has never been back to prison since. On December 1st, 2023, Charleston White appeared on Cam Newton's Funky Friday podcast, and he went off on Deion Sanders.
That ain't true.
Man, I've been in the community for the last 12 years. Man, I know Deion lived in Prosper, Texas, Dallas, Texas. Deion wasn't never there outside of his prime organization, football.
But that's him there, though.
But that's why I'm saying him, because I was in the community.
He said, and I quote, "I was selected to campaign with Donald Trump to go to 3 key battleground states. I sacrificed a lot for my people only to realize I don't like my people," end quote. And that's what brings us to here. Charleston White was attacked by a man and his uncle on stage right in the middle of his performance. Check this out.
"I already got the back here, nigga. I don't give a damn about getting booed. I already got the back here. I don't give a damn about getting booed. I done already got paid. You paid to see me. You paid to see me. Lakers, Chairs, and Warren ass. Pull out some money, though. Pull out some money, though. Pull out some money, though. Pull out some money. Pull out some money. I hit you in your damn head. Pull out some money. I hit you in your head. Hit you in your damn head.
I see the bigger picture he's trying to paint, the lesson he's trying to teach. But no one listens to positivity these days. It's the antics that bring the attention. But sometimes you gotta bribe a kid with candy to get them to do their homework. But is it all worth it? The beef, the strong words, the dissing. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. How much longer will his brother continue on skating by? And will these kids listen? A wise man once said, "Don't worry about the messenger. Did you get the message?" Hey, yo, Diddy, tell me you ain't tell Cassie to take that, cause she took it. I guess the saying is true. Money talk, BS walk. Let's get into it. Producer and musician Sean Combs was sued in federal court in New York City on Thursday by his former girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, who alleges she was essayed and subjected to years of repeated physical and other abuses by Combs. The complaint, obtained by CNN, alleges Combs lured Ms. Ventura into an ostentatious, fast-paced, and drug-fueled lifestyle, and into a romantic relationship with them. Within 2 years of the pair meeting, Combs signed Ventura to his record label, Bad Boy Records. Ventura claims in the suit that Combs exerted his power and influence over her throughout the course of their professional and romantic relationship. She was 19 when they met and Combs was 37, and their business relationship lasted until 2019. The complaint details claims that Combs was physically violent toward Ventura, controlled all aspects of her personal life, and introduced her to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse, and forced her to engage in various sex acts with other men during that time. In the lawsuit, Ventura alleges that after she tried to end their relationship in 2018, Combs forced his way into her home and essayed her. It all started with Ron Leslie. Imagine being in love with someone and you share many things in common. You're happy, but like us all, we tend to reach for more. And in that search for more, you run across the devil. And he offers you anything and everything above your wildest dreams. And you take it, but at what cost?
Well, it was a very personal relationship, and you know, it was she was close to everything that I loved. You know what I mean? So, music is just something that I love, and she's clearly just, you know, when two people have that much personal interaction and time, they spend that much time together, it's inevitable that a strong personal bond is going to be formed. And the type of chemistry that we had musically and personally, the relationship that we had was inevitable.
What shall it profit a man to gain the whole world just to lose his own soul? It's better to stay humble and stay on the path the Most High has you on and leads you to. Because when we venture off, we are no longer protected. Now let's fast forward. Ventura, now a mother of two, claims that she struggled with addictions to drugs and alcohol that were established and fueled by P. Diddy. The complaint states that Ventura still suffers from immense emotional distress, and that at one point she checked into an inpatient rehabilitation center after having thoughts of taking her own life. Cassie says, and I quote, "After years in silence and darkness, I'm finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships," end quote. And allegedly, 50 Cent said that he's seen damaging pictures and sexual videos of Cassie, and he thinks P. Diddy is the one who sent them out.
Matter of fact, they sent me the girl pictures, like pictures of the girl, like, not the shit that y'all saw. Worse, way worse.
Wow, you kidding me up?
Like penetration pictures and
Nah, come on, man. Come on, Phil.
I really kind of felt like those photographs were not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
Right. Oh, wow.
You know?
And allegedly, he also blew up Kid Cudi's car, thinking he was trying to holler at Cassie. Ben Brathman, an attorney for Combs, said in a statement emailed to CNN, and I quote, "Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations," end quote. The statement continued to say, for the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Ms. Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. The lawsuit accuses Combs and other defendants of sex trafficking, human trafficking, sexual assault, gender-motivated violence, sexual harassment, gender discrimination, and a hostile work environment. In addition to Combs, the lawsuit also names his companies, including Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment, and Combs Enterprises. It also names Epic Records, which is listed as an employer of Ventura. A new law, the New York Adults Survivors Act, has given adult survivors of sexual assault 1 year to file lawsuits against their predators, and is set to expire on November 24th. Sean Combs, 54, founded the music label Bad Boy Records in 1993 and has gone by the stage names of Puff Daddy and Diddy, credited with the work that is regarded as instrumental in the growth of the hip-hop genre. Combs has also won 3 Grammys in his career, along with 14 nominations. While he achieved initial success with his music, Combs also became a notable producer and a well-known entrepreneur. Ventura, 37, is an R&B singer, mostly known for her song, Me and You, off of her 2006 self-titled debut album, Cassie. She's also made music with artists like Lil Wayne and Akon, and in 2009 released a single, Must Be Love, featuring Combs. But even after all that, in just one day, Cassie and P. Diddy have reached a settlement.
Overnight, hip-hop mogul Sean Combs settling a bombshell sexual abuse lawsuit filed by his ex-girlfriend, fellow singer Cassie. Cassandra Ventura writing in a statement, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support." Combs, known as Diddy or Puff Daddy, adding in his own statement, "I wish Cassie and her family all the best."
My man Kodak just can't catch a break. But hopefully, he gets it all figured out before it's too late. Let's get into it. Bill Capri, aka Kodak Black, is allegedly back in federal custody after violating his probation following a cocaine bust. He was recently arrested for possession of an illegal substance and tampering with physical evidence on December 7th. At the time, he was pulled over in Plantation, Florida during a traffic stop, and police found Kodak's Bentley SUV parked in the roadway with the engine still running. When officers approached his luxury vehicle, they noticed he was asleep behind the wheel. After opening the door to the SUV, police turned off the car and then noticed a strong odor of alcohol and burnt marijuana. They then found wrapping papers and residue near the center console. Things continued to get worse when police alleged that they saw white powder falling from the rapper's mouth. According to the police report, officers noticed his mouth was full of white powder, alleging that he attempted to swallow the cocaine. However, when police noticed a white rock-like substance near the rapper, they said he claimed it was a Percocet. But when the substance was tested, along with the white plastic bag in the rapper's pocket, officials confirmed that it was cocaine. After the rapper bonded out that night, sometime later, he took to social media to open up about his drug abuse. During his stream, he denied using cocaine after his latest drug arrest, but admitted to previously using meth, smoking weed, taking perks, and drinking lean.
I come to say like that I was asleep in front of my people's eyes. I was asleep in front of my people's house, homie. That's it. I'ma say like that drink, bro. I was on the lean, homie. I was on the lean, I was asleep in front of my family house, bro. That's it. I was on that drink, sleep in front of my people's house. But that ain't illegal. And that ain't illegal. So all that shit ass is just a process. The process that it had to be in other mud shot. The process that even though like this shit bogus as they plastered all over the internet. Then on top of that, it's like, bro, like I'm Haitian, and then it's just like my era and shit, bro. Like hell no, like man, you better off saying that okay, you drunk, you drink lean, you smoke weed or dead Molly or whatever type shit. Or you pop pill, even though that ain't cool. That ain't cool in itself. None of this shit cool, but they be talking about cocaine.
According to All Hip Hop, Kodak Black has been placed at FDC Miami, where he will remain until at least December 19th. May the Almighty Messiah be with Kodak through his trials and tribulations. Sometimes it takes a negative to make a positive, and I believe that he can turn his test into a testimony. Hallelujah. Many are concerned about his well-being, and one of those such people are Ray J. He recently spoke out in the defense of Kodak Black and called for the rapper to get some help following his interview on Drink Champs. The One Wish singer commented under a repost of Academic's Instagram page. Fans believe that Kodak had to be on some sort of drug, given his erratic behavior.
I respect it. What's a Florida question?
Oh, yeah, man. Gunplay or Ace Hood?
He's wiping his face.
Let me pour up.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like
pouring shit.
It's like I wanna go Gunplay, I wanna go Ace, but it's just okay. I'm telling you now, I'm gonna get a nigga they do. I'll talk. I don't like what is my. I don't if we want to kill each other. I don't know for what. Cause the kill stuff, you know. I don't that type of shit. But
Ray J said that Kodak needed help and revealed that he had an experience with him with the Trumps that didn't go so well. According to the 42-year-old, Yak had no guidance or respect. And of course, Kodak responded.
I'm like, you tripping. I'm like, you ain't got nothing to do with that shit. I ain't even the type of nigga to come on here speaking like this. You know what I mean? I ain't got no rap for no bit. Like, if anybody ask me about that shit, I don't even what you call it, homie. This nigga wanna go to Mar-a-Lago. How the fuck this nigga wanna go to Mar-a-Lago, homie? We said that was some Ray J shit, homie. This child nigga wanna juice, all types of shit. That's some Ray J shit, homie. You sleep, boy. A nigga plug, boy. What? A nigga plug, boy. You don't know me. I do how I do, homie. I do how I do, homie. I be hating that pussy ass shit. Man, he nigga, like, you a boost ass nigga. You wouldn't just go viral.
Ray J said, and I quote, "Yo, somebody need to grab bro and make sure he good. This ain't the interview, Nori. We gotta help this dude. I took him to Trump's house and he did the most. They were not happy with the experience because he had no guidance and respect. Yo, at WAC 100, let's figure out what we can do to help this guy instead of watching him self-destruct." End quote. Meek Mill seemed to show less sympathy regarding Kodak's alleged condition on Drink Champs with the comment that denounced being a rapper these days. He said, and I quote, "I dang near don't even want to be labeled a rapper no more." End quote. This trial has taken on a life of its own. It's hard to really tell what it's about anymore. Is it about justice, or is it about taking down the image of the thug? Let's get into it. A month after Young Thug found himself embroiled in a sprawling RICO case, he made a plea from jail saying, and I quote, "You know, this isn't about me or YSL. I always use my music as a form of artistic expression, and I see now that black artists and rappers don't have that freedom. Everybody please sign the Protect Black Art petition and keep praying for us. I love you all," he concluded. The 88-page grand jury indictment characterizes YSL, Young Slime Life, as a criminal street gang and alleges 182 instances of the collectives participating in gang activity and criminal conspiracies, citing lyrics, social media posts, and clothing or accessories with slime emblazing on them as evidence. Atlanta's Fulton County grand jury charged some individuals with violent crimes that include attempted armed robbery and murder. Not only has the case arrived under the specter of a 60% rise in violent crime in Atlanta, which Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis has promised to fight, but it has reverberated throughout the hip-hop community, where many have argued that this trial is but the latest instance of the criminal justice system unfairly tying rappers to violent crime through their arts. A little over 7 months after his arrest in May, Gunna walked free on December 14, 2022, after both he and Young Thug were denied bond multiple times. The rapper pled guilty to a charge of racketeering conspiracy in what is known as the Alfred plea, a deal that allows him to plead guilty if it's in his best interest while maintaining his innocence. His 5-year sentence was commuted to time served and 500 hours of community service as part of the deal. Days later, 7 other defendants took the plea deals and were released from jail just ahead of the new year. As of November, many of the original defendants had their cases separated from the trial. 4 did not have legal representation, and 2 had not been arrested by early January. Right now, Young Thug is one of 6 defendants set to stand trial. Although there was a possibility Young Thug could get out on bond, Judge Glanville denied the rapper bond for the 3rd time, citing the threat of witness intimidation, the threat of fleeing, and the dangers to the community in a hearing on July 21st. The judge agreed to reconsider Yak Gotti's bond that same day. However, he was denied bond as well. And months prior, Thug may have caught another case. Fulton County prosecutors allege that co-defendant Khalif Adams attempted to hand the rapper a Percocet in open court on January 20th. But Thug's lawyer denies involvement in the alleged drug deal. And as January came to a close, YSL Mondo, a label co-founder, publicized his past relationship with the current District Attorney Willis, who served as his defense lawyer during the 2019 aggravated assault trial and helped him stay out of jail. With the trial underway and the prosecutor Adriana Love quoting the Jungle Book in opening statements, we've compiled everything you need to know about the case as it develops. Here's all the updates from the people involved, to a summary of the charges, and all the cited lyrics. The trial finally began on November 27th, with opening arguments from the prosecution after nearly 2 years of administrative delays and courtroom dramas. One such headache was jury selection. The court had largely spent this time addressing the hardship excuses of the more than 2,000 potential jurors, some of them who said they couldn't serve because of the lengthy trial, expected to dip into the next year. The court finished reviewing hardships in July, and a jury was selected by November 1st. Meanwhile, Young Thug was denied bond for a 3rd time on July 21st, likely leaving him behind bars to the end of the trial unless the judge reconsiders his decision. Now on the trial's second day, we heard a rebuttal from Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele, who argued the prosecution grossly mischaracterized his client and denied the allegations that the rapper's persona and lyrics pointed to a gang conspiracy. Instead, Steele claimed Young Thug was mobbing for God. While most people think the word thug tends to describe a person involved in violent activity, Steele said Jeffrey Williams' stage name comes from an acronym that foregrounds his religious convictions. Steele said that thug means truly humble under God, and Thug's alleged gang described by the prosecution, Young Slime Life, really stands for Yves Saint Laurent. He also said the popular Young Thug and Gunna song, Pushin' P, doesn't refer to selling substances. He said it stands for pushing positivity. The grand jury indictment identifies Young Thug, Gunna, and 26 other associates as members of the criminal street gang, YSL, or Young Slime Life. Thugger, the heartbeat of Atlanta's rap scene, is allegedly the founder of this street gang, which formed in the city in 2012. The prosecution claims that YSL has affiliation with the National Bloods gang, and some associates claim the Bloods subset gang Sex Money Murder, or 30 Deep. The rapper founded record label Young Stoner Life in 2016 as an imprint of 300 Entertainment, YSL Records calls its roster of artists the Slime Family, and Gunna was named in the indictment along with the rappers Lil Duke, Yacht Gotti, and Young Thug's brother, Funk. Fannie Willis is a district attorney overseeing the case and a Democrat known for investigating whether former President Donald Trump and his team engaged in election fraud in Georgia, and she had this to say about Young Thug and his crew.
As the district attorney of Fulton County, my #1 focus is targeting gangs, and there's a reason for that. They are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all of the violent crime that we are seeing within our community. And so they have to be rooted out of our community. I said just a week or two ago, it does not matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a street gang, that you are going to become a target and a focus of this district attorney's office, and we are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
Gunna's guilty plea, for his part, serves as public acknowledgement of his association with YSL, the rapper said in a statement, though he emphasized that his association is purely musical. He staunchly maintains his innocence despite entering a plea deal, saying, and I quote, "While I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, I have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way," end quote. But we all know what happened when he got in front of that judge.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
7 other defendants walked free in last December. Each pled guilty to a racketeering charge that said YSL was both a music collective and a criminal street gang, per the conditions of their plea deals. YSL co-founder Walter Murphy entered a guilty plea on a single count of conspiracy to violate the state's RICO Act and was sentenced to 10 years in prison.
He's changed, Judge. He's crying.
He negotiated 1 year of his sentence commuted to time served and 9 years of probation per the deal. Funk, Lil Duke, Slime Life Shawty, Antonio Sledge, Trontavious Tick Stevens, and Antonio Obama Sumlin took similar deals, but some pleaded guilty to additional charges. Sledge and Stevens, for their part, must testify truthfully if called to trial. Durante Bebe and Tenquarius Mender were originally offered plea deals but rejected them. However, Bebe accepted a plea deal in November 2023 and was sentenced to 15 years, 5 in prison and 10 on probation.
5 versus the opportunity to serve life plus in prison, you know, we moved definitely in the right direction.
Umfung, despite originally taking a plea deal in December, was arrested again in May 2023 when police found a gun in his car and was sentenced to more than 9 years in prison for violating his probation. A prosecutor asked Slime Life Shawty, whose government name is Wooney Lee, if YSL members have committed at least one of the following acts in the name of YSL, whether it was murder, aggravated assault, robbery, theft, and/or illegal firearms possession, to which he replied, yes ma'am. Other serious allegations include that Thug rented a car that was used in a commission to take the life of Donovan Thomas Jr., a rival gang leader, in January 2015. In addition, 3 YSL members were charged with attempted murder in connection with an attack on the rapper YFN Lucci, who was stabbed in jail in February of 2022. Thug was later charged with 7 additional felonies after a reported police raid of his Buckhead home following his May 9, 2022 arrest. The new charges include possession of drugs with intent to distribute, possession of firearms, 3 counts to being a person employed or associated with a criminal street gang, to conduct or participate in criminal gang activity in the commission of a crime. District Attorney Willis filed a motion on August 15th, asking the judge to order defense attorneys to avoid sharing discovery materials, including the names of all lay witnesses cooperating with YSL associates that will be called to testify in this case. One associate planning to testify against a rapper in protective custody after documents leaked on blogs identified him as a witness. Rap lyrics are also being used as evidence against those charged in the YSL case. Though experts have argued that it can be a violation of free speech, the use of rap lyrics to incriminate hip-hop artists isn't new. When asked about the proposed Georgia state bill to limit the use of rap lyrics as evidence in criminal proceedings, Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis said that she doesn't think the legislation will be successful. She says, and I quote, "I think if you decide to admit your crimes over a beat, I'm going to use it," end quote. While Willis has vowed to continue to use lyrics as evidence, legislators on both the state and federal levels have introduced bills to limit their use.